Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary.
And I'm David. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm great. Invade any countries today? Start any military actions? Can't call it a war if Congress didn't approve it.
Yeah, it's so funny. I forget
Pete
what.
Hegseth, the Secretary of Military Actions.
Yeah, there was it was a female Republican. I don't know. I think she was a senator. I can't remember senator or congresswoman. She's probably a congresswoman who said that it was a military action. It's not a war.
Right.
And
Mark Wayne, somebody or another, said the same thing. And then they overlaid it with clips of Trump calling it a war and Hegseth calling it a war.
Yeah.
So which is it? Get your messaging straight.
Their rationale was, well, there's no boots on the ground, so how could it possibly be a war?
Oh, I don't know.
With logic like that, I mean, I didn't realize how dumb I was.
Exactly.
So I turned it on its ear. So if Iran had launched several missiles and attack aircraft, intercontinental ballistic missiles and attack aircraft and whatever at Washington, D.C., killed Trump and unalived Trump and Melania, took out a whole bunch of his staff.
We would declare it a national holiday and be seen dancing in the streets so that it could be put up in Tehran's thing saying, look, the American people were looking forward to this.
Yes. I mean, I suspect most people in America would declare that an act of war.
Well, yeah. What if a nation took a bunch of aircraft carriers and submarines and dive bombers and went to a naval base in the Pacific and just absolutely decimated the Pacific fleet there?
Yes.
Would we call that a military action because they didn't put boots on the ground?
We would call that an infamous action.
Yes. Oh, speaking of which, he just got Pearl Harbored.
Yes, before we hit record, David had to step away, so I got several minutes of watching the cats go at it. They love paper, don't they?
They do, and they both just woke up from a nap within the last half hour, so they're while they may not eat Friskies, they're feeling frisky.
That's right. They're at peak energy level right now.
Yep.
So
the camera.
So I'm really confused.
Well, nobody. You can say anything you want. You can start singing or talking about your most private thoughts. Nobody cares. They're watching cats.
I know, they're watching cats. In fact, here we should probably just make you bigger.
Yeah, I know, right? He's gonna flee.
If he's smart, he would, because Elle is crafty.
Yes. Well, she's already looking at him like you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. He's gonna attack her one more time. They're gonna wrestle, and then he's gonna flee the room before she can retaliate on him. But she's got that look like sucker. Yeah. Here we go. He's gonna tackle her.
Yeah, you know your cats, don't you?
And it's not long now before he rolls over, springs up real quickly, and sprints out of the room before she really
runs away. Like brave Sir Robin.
Yeah. Oh, these cats.
Yeah, so what I'm confused is why exactly we are doing this military action with Iran. And so what's not...
why can't we just have cats? Let's have cat fight. Way more entertaining.
Indeed. This is is this a war or a military strike here?
This is definitely a military strike.
With a good counterattack, good counter strike there.
There it goes.
Clearly, they've done this once or twice for you.
They might be back. They may not be back. I would expect to hear thundering up and down the halls over the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, so fortunately for me, and people who are not very clever like me, Trump has provided a number of reasons as to why the United States decided to do military strikes on Iran.
Pick your
And in
favorite.
no particular order, they include preventing Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon,
Yes.
containing Iran's missile program,
Yes.
to eliminate threats to Americans and allies from Iran and proxies,
Okay.
punishing the treatment of protesters,
Oh, yes. Yes.
regime change.
Yes.
And then the one that came out today, which is obviously the best reason, because they've now had 3 days to come up with a reason, is because they were going to attack us first.
Yes.
Yes.
There was. Do you forget the one about they were going to annihilate the Navy, the Iranian Navy? They need to annihilate the Iranian Navy. That's another goal.
That was it's certainly a goal, but I don't think that was the reason for the attack.
That's true. There was another one. Apparently, there's a story out there that about 30 to 40 units or something like that were given a pep talk by their commanders, who basically said that Trump was divinely appointed to start this war, and he's going to bring about the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Oh, for the love of God and all that.
Yeah, so we're hitting the rapture BS. And this is military commanders saying that to their soldiers. That don't worry about this. This is all divinely set in place. Fundamental Christian nationalism, the American Taliban, the American ISIS, here we come.
Yep. So I thought maybe we would do a reading to see if we could figure out what's the real reason. Now, I think Gary the analyst has pretty much landed on what the real reason is. And then there was also there was an article I saw where it's basically the negotiations really weren't going anywhere because the United States had these very strong demands that the Iranians were like, yeah, I don't think so. And but in that same article, and this is the reason why I personally think Gary the analyst thinks it's the reason why they attacked, is because they had been doing surveillance on the supreme leader and his staff, his cabinet, and they through all the surveillance, they realized that on Saturday morning they were going to have this meeting of all these higher ups, and that they were basically like, this is a great opportunity to take out the whole top layer of Iranian leadership. And they did it. They just went ahead and attacked. And that's, to me, that makes the most sense why they would have done it. That's the most plausible reason.
A complaint filed with the Military Religious Freedom Foundation alleges a combat unit commander indicated to troops that a conflict with Iran is all part of God's divine plan and aimed at causing Armageddon to trigger the return of Jesus, according to AI. There's other stories that sort of hit on this one. I watched a couple of guys talking about this and kind of like path to victory for Iran, actually. It's kind of, it's Russia and Ukraine in reverse, with us being Russia, the bad guys, the big bad evil empire bullying somebody else. But one of the things that this one analyst came up with is that Israel played to Trump's vanities much better than Iran did. And Israel pointed out, this is what I think happened. Israel pointed out all the things Trump was told he couldn't do that he did and never suffered any consequences for it. Mm-hmm. Moving the capital, moving like the capital of Israel or the U.S. embassy to Bethlehem or something, or like the Israeli to Bethlehem, and nothing happened. Supporting the building the Golan Heights or taking of the Golan Heights to give it to Israel, and nothing happened. Decapitating the leadership in Venezuela, and nothing happened. There were a couple other examples he gave, but those, like, all these things that the societal norms that he destroyed, that there'd be dire consequences for, there were never any dire consequences. So Trump could also be the guy that goes in there and finally gets rid of the evil Iranian regime. And we all know that Trump is stuck in the 70s and early 80s, back when, this would have been a really popular war back in 1979.
Yes, it would.
But this is not 1979, but Trump's mind stuck there. And since Trump's not real smart and he's very egotistical, of course he thinks he can get away with it. No, because Israel told him he could. And there would be no consequences. You go in there, you blow up the heads of states in there, the regime collapses, you're in and out in 72 hours, you dropped a bunch of bombs, and now you can go build your Arc de Trump off of the White House.
It's funny because I had a similar thought today when I was just kind of doing my thing around the house. And it's just like, knowing Trump, this will go off great because he never pays the price for anything he does.
Nope. This will always be somebody else's. If this thing bogs down, it's Rubio's fault. It's Hegseth's fault. It's the general's fault. It's our allies' fault. It's the soldiers' fault. It's everybody's fault but his. His plan was great. Everybody else were a bunch of idiots.
All right, so I want to do a read on what is the real reason why the United States decided to do a military strike, not a war. Anyone else would call it a war, but we'll just call it a military action because there's probably a bunch of Nazis running Iran these days.
Operation Epstein Files. Here we go.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that, huh?
Yeah, well, it's because Epic Fury is EF, so they call it's the America First people are calling it Operation Epstein Files. So even the folks that normally would support Trump and his America First agenda are very dry humored about him and start with their sarcasm.
Yeah, that's so funny. Because I had the same thoughts. Like, wow, those are the people that usually back him, and they're becoming cynical.
Oh yeah, basically, he lied to them. They know that they got lied to, and they're pissed. They've been played for poobahs.
Why did the United States attack Iran? What's the real reason? Foundation is the Five of Cups, because this is the minor arcana death card. I can take an action that could lead to the end of certain things. What's the challenge? The challenge is the Ace of Cups. People getting very upset over the action that was going to be taken. And that could be, people in the United States. That could be people in Iran. That could be the world in general. But it started a new action. Energy underneath it is, we just need to end this regime. Ten of Swords. We're going to bring this to an end now. Okay, so is it because he wanted to kill people, or is it because he wanted to end the nuclear program? Because it's causing all sorts of collective ringing of, or clutching of pearls. In the past, you got the devil, the axis of evil, if you will. It could just be, Trump and Netanyahu just they're chained to this. This is just how they react. It's kind of like Dave was saying, how Israel played to Trump's vanities better than Iran did. But this is just this is part of the contract. Unless you want to read this as, they're the part of the axis of evil. Current energy is the Ten of Cups, the happy family celebrating the achievements, kids dancing freely, couples loving each other, the rainbows are out, everything is going to be great. It's going to make Americans happy if we do this. Overarching energy is the Tower. This could be toppling the government. So what's the real reason? It could be, it's either to me, it's taking down the nuclear program or toppling the government. Lesson to be learned, King of Pentacles. He who has the money makes the laws, right? Or, might makes right. Outcome. Nine of Swords. So we got the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords. Outcome is it's about anxiety and stress. So right now, I'm not. Where do I want to go with the outcome on this? So why did they do it? I'm going with regime change once again. I think it may be more than one. It's probably putting an end to the nuclear program and getting rid of the regime at the same time, because this will make America happy. And the outcome is we're just going to make it a nightmare situation in Iran. I mean, they're at risk of another endless war, because Trump also has not set any kind of parameters of what victory looks like. Victory is whatever I say it is, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. And all the parameters they have out there lead to forever wars. No, Israel, their parameter for kill all the Hamas agents in Gaza. How's that going? Gaza is a very small area right next door, and Israel pounded the hell out of it. How do you kill every member of Hamas? How do you identify them first? And how do you make sure they're all killed and new ones don't come in? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I also threw my spread too on this one. And I think what I got is Trump has looked at administrations in the past having choices and never choosing to do anything about Iran. So I think we are going way back in time here with Trump, and he's going to be the guy who does something different here. He feels like he's holding all the cards, and he's going to do something, but he's concerned about his legacy. There's a whole legacy play here, and he's going to go in with his boats. And again, don't doubt for a second that he wants to distract from trafficking here. But with his poll numbers down and a lot of discontent in society, the timing was good for him to pull something like this. He's trying to get away with one here. And I think he was also told, and it goes back to that thing about Israel, probably told them 72 hours. You'll be in and out in 72 hours. You'll decapitate them. Perfect opportunity to strike, decapitate them. You're done. And, it doesn't require much planning. You're done, and then everybody else does the rest of the work. And to petulant little Trump, who doesn't think very much or think things through, he saw all the benefits of this, but he doesn't see the consequences. So you've got all these different things. I think in the end of the day, he thought this was going to be a quick, cheap victory like he got in Venezuela, and he said, okay, let's do it. This is fine. This will be easy, in and out 3 days, and we're fine. And guess what? It didn't work. And now what? Now what do you do?
Mm-hmm. It's, one thing's for sure. If Iran had a nuclear device and a way to deliver it, it would have been used already.
Yeah. If not already, really soon.
Yeah. So I can safely go out there and say I don't think they had a bomb at this point.
Well, you don't know that, right? Because they don't really have a way to deliver it.
Right.
To where they maybe want to deliver it to. Now, what if they want to deliver it to the United States? They don't have an ICBM that can reach the United States. So how do you go about doing that?
Maybe they can get Qatar to give them a 747.
That was kind of my thought. It's you can put it on an aircraft. Maybe put it on an aircraft that's sort of nondescript. I don't know how the U.S. could monitor for such a thing. Imagine putting it on an aircraft and you're flying it to Dulles. Yep. Or JFK or someplace like that, and you're a couple thousand feet and you decide to detonate it. What's to stop him from doing that? Especially if you're not over a military base, something like that. You just want to wreak havoc. I'm not advocating for that, but I'm just saying the U.S. must have a plan to identify if radioactive, like a nuclear bomb, is being transported into the United States, but I I I don't know how you do that. I'm ignorant to that. I would like to think there's a plan in place.
So it seems multifaceted. So it seems to me like they there was a crime of opportunity.
Yeah,
They wanted to get rid of the leadership there. That Trump wanted to cement his legacy as, he's not taco Trump, he's take action Trump. And he's the one that's going to avenge the Iranian hostage situation of 1979, if you will.
right.
And that he's going to do something because no other president had the goyones.
Guts. Yeah, Reagan didn't. Carter didn't. Bush's, Clinton, Obama.
Well, and the thing is, as some have pointed out in the comments, Israel has been claiming that Iran's had a nuclear weapon for decades.
Yeah, for like 30 something years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're going to have one in 2 weeks. Any day now, any week now, any month now, they'll have it. Yeah, I saw a clip going back in time all the way to like 1995 or so. Brutal. It's brutal to watch, but it really drives the point home.
So let's just take a look at what's next. Just high level, what's next? You want to throw on this too?
What's that?
You want to throw on this as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a 4-card on this one.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's always the question, right? Going after the money. Yeah, they're gonna go. They're gonna go after economics. It's gonna be an economic. I see economic assaults going on here.
Oops. I can't show my cards because I have a naked lady card. Oh my! I guess I have to take a pen to it, or I can just hold my finger over it. Okay, let's see your cards.
Okay, so I get the 7 of coins, the evaluation. You're reaping what you sow from the poison bush, and the opportunities here. Decline, bad choices becoming worse choices, and the wheel goes on. Nightmare. So what's going to happen here? This thing isn't going to end anytime soon. You're going to start quagmiring here. This is going to be ongoing war. It's going to be expensive. Iran is going to go for an economic victory over the United States. They're going to make it so damn costly that it's going to cause turmoil. It'll cause domestic turmoil as well as international turmoil. There's going to be an economic component, whether Iran attacks, basically they send over a $25,000 drone that takes $15 million of U.S. missiles to shoot it down. If they can send a couple $100 drones and cause the U.S. to use $15 million of missiles to shoot it down, the U.S. Relies on quality.
Yes.
Very expensive, high quality products. Iran is taking the Russian military doctrine from World War II, where quantity has its own quality. So you send up 100 drones that cost you $1 million, and the U.S. spends $100 million shooting them down.
Yep.
And most of them are just garbage.
What if they used cabbage?
Yes, I was thinking that also, that they are kind of fighting the war on the cheap.
Yes.
Regular cabbages, that is. They're not taking it, but they are taking it seriously.
Yes, that's true.
Another Monty Python reference.
Donald, that one's for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I got, I've got a lot of glare is what I got.
Yeah, you always have glare over there. I don't know what's up with you.
What's going on with me?
Maybe you had a better computer that had some auto light adjusting.
Okay, so I've got the 2 of Wands. So what's next? and it was what I kind of focused in on.
It really is a what's next card. Okay, now what?
Yeah, exactly. I think the various nations of the world are going to assess what actions they want to take going forward about this. That there's going to be an emotional upwelling as a result of this, which is going to drive chaos, whether this is protests or skirmishes or the war expanding because of the actions of the emperor, because he wants to go to war. And then the card I can't show is the world card, and and it's the cycle we're coming full cycle on this. This is the final end of the cycle on this. To me, it seems like this is going to. What I get the feeling is that this is going to expand further. I mean, we're already seeing some of that, where Iran is attacking nations that used to be nations that they would not conduct military strikes in, like Jordan, for example. So they're going after the U.S. assets in these various Middle Eastern countries. The gloves are coming off, and it's going to be interesting to see how these nations, what actions they take, because are you mad at the Iranians, or are you mad at the Americans? The Americans for starting it, the Iranians for violating their sovereign airspace and attacking within their country, or both.
It's complicated.
Yeah, funny, because when you think 4D chess, you're thinking Donald J. Trump, because he is always thinking every single possible permutation of an outcome, and then coming out with the savvy, smart action based on all those permutations.
I think I will start a business. I'm going to make edible paste, and I'm going to call it 4D chess. Edible paste for geniuses.
Oh God. More to come, folks. This is not going to end in the next 72 hours, I don't think.
Stable geniuses.
Oh, God.
No, yeah. Trump will do what he always said. Oh, nothing's working. Let's just do more of it. Let's launch even more missiles.
Yep.
Blow even up more stuff, because that'll cause it.
Maybe can levy 200% tariffs on Iranian goods.
Yeah, or something.
I mean, we stopped importing red pistachios back in 1979, right? So,
yeah.
That's what we got.
We're a nation of bullies. We are the bad guys in this one. There's no two ways about it.
Yep. We are the evil empire. Yay us.
Yes.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. This is such a happy, uplifting, joyful reading.
if you really liked it, just go back to the first couple minutes and watch Nico and Elle fight, because
that's probably the best part of this.
Well, the best entertainment you're going to get today.
All right. I hope you folks have a wonderful day. We'll catch you soon. Bye.
Bye.